Okay, good morning. Good morning to all listeners right now, especially to grade 7 students under my subject English 7. You are listening to 105.1 Radio Educalidad, situated at Cauayan City Science and Technology High School, Villaluna, Cauayan City, Isabela. This is Geraldine Sagario, your teacher in English 7. Before we proceed to our discussion, make sure to have with you your module, the soft copy that I sent you, your pen or marker, and a paper. Don't forget also to jot down important points of our lesson today. If you are ready, let's begin. So, our lesson on this episode, class, is about oral language used for specific purposes. Okay, let me just give credit to the author of this module, Ma'am Maria Cristina S. Alarcio. Or Alarco ba ito? Okay, so what you need to know. Okay, let me read the content of the module. Oral communication in the 21st century includes verbal and non-verbal communication. An effective communicator can speak with clarity and precision in formal and informal context. Effective communicators exhibit four core sub-competencies. They use stories to communicate ideas. They are aware of their audience and use the appropriate tone and word choice. They are also active listeners who can hear both what is said and what is not said and can use a body language. Yan. So, throughout the lesson, okay, we have here three objectives of our lesson. Okay? Throughout the lesson, you will be able to first distinguish types of communication. So, ano yung mga iba't ibang uri ng communication. Second, identify appropriate oral languages used. Instance, so later on, we will know what is this word instance. Instance and behavior when giving information and instructions, making explanations, and narrating events in factual and personal recounts. And the third one is use the appropriate oral language, stance, and behavior when giving information. Kung paano naman ito magagamit appropriately. Okay? When giving information, instructions, making explanations, and narrating events. Okay? In factual or personal recounts. So let's proceed. Okay? To begin our discussion, please turn your module on page 1 to. Okay? And let's try to answer the 5-item pre-test, yung activity dyan, to check your schema about the topic or your schema or prior knowledge. So let me read the directions. Choose the letter of the best answer. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. Pwede din sa notebook. Okay, for number 1 question, pwede kayong mag-send dito sa live stream natin. Nababasa ko ang mga sagot ninyo kung sino ang mga present sa live stream natin. Okay, nababasa ko yan. Pati rin sa ating GC, nababasa ko din. Okay, so let's begin with item number 1. Okay, just type the number and the letter of the correct answer. Okay, number 1. What is the goal of learning a language? The goal of learning a language. Is it A, to associate, B, to interact, letter C, to communicate, or letter D, to participate? So what is your answer? All right. So, all of you answered letter C. Okay. Tama kaya lahat kayo? Well, the correct answer is letter C. Very good. Those who are answered letter C are Christian Paul, Michael James, Ariane, Arnel, Joanna, Floresa, Gwen, Bea, Rose, James, Jamaica, Dandre, Citizen, Rochelle, and Catherine sa ating YouTube. Si Catherine, si Carl, si Citizen, and si Brian Almasan. Ang unang sumagot naman doon. Okay, very good. Okay, let's continue with item number 2. Okay, every communication involves the following except. Okay, take note of the word except here. Every communication involves the following except A, a sender, B, a message, C, a translator, or letter D, a recipient. I'll repeat, every communication involves the following except A, sender, B, message, C, translator, or letter D, recipient. All right. So what do you think is the correct answer for item number 2? Well, ang exemption dito ay letter C. Okay? Sino ang nakakuha ng tamang sagot? Yun ay si Floresa. Okay, very good, Floresa. Sa ating live stream ay si Carl Justin. Okay, very good. So, dalawa lang ang nakakuha. Number 3 question. What type of communication utilizes o ginagamit niya yung the spoken word either face-to-face or remotely? Is it A, non-verbal, B, verbal, C, visual, or letter D, both verbal and non-verbal? Alright, maraming sumagot ng letter D. Sa tingin ninyo, letter D kaya ang tamang sagot? Is it both verbal and non-verbal? Okay, when someone utilizes spoken word? Well, class, the correct answer is letter B. Unfortunately, no one got the correct answer, class. Yan, letter B ang tamang sagot. This is called verbal communication, class. Ayan. Okay, let's continue with item number 4. Okay, para maintindihan ang tanong, pwede nyong anuhin din, pwedeng basahin yung module na sinend ko sa inyo. Ayan. Yung module na sinend ko sa inyo sa group chat, yun yung ginagamit natin sa ating discussion ngayon. Alright, let's continue. Number 4. What type of communication is often communicated through facial expression and gestures, posture, and even appearance? I'll repeat the question. What type of communication is often communicated through facial expression, gesture, yan, posture, and even appearance? Is it A, non-verbal, B, verbal, C, visual, or letter D, both visual, and verbal. So, ano ang inyong sagot for item number 4? Your time starts now. Okay, your time is up. Okay? Most of you answered letter C, pero tama kaya kayo na sumagot? Karabihang sumagot ng letter C? Okay? Well, class, the correct answer for item number 4 is letter A. This is called non-verbal communication. And the one who got the correct answer is Carl Justin. Dito sa YouTube live stream natin, si Carl Justin yun. Ayan, tama si Carl Justin. Okay, let's resume. Last na to. Para sa ating activity number 1. Okay, the question goes like this. What type of communication includes mga signs, yan, maps, drawings, as well as color or graphic design? I'll repeat the question for item number 5. What type of communication includes signs, maps, or drawings, as well as color or graphic designs? Okay, is it A, non-verbal, B, verbal, C, visual, or letter D, non-verbal and verbal? Both non-verbal and verbal. So what is your answer for item number 3? Is it A, B, or C? Alright, may nakakuha na ng tamang sagot at very good dahil lahat ng sumagot ng letter C ay correct. Tama kayo. This is called visual. Very good. Ivy, Bea, Arlene, James, Catherine, Michael, James, City, Zaini, Arnel, Jamaica, Christian, and Christian Paul. Sa ating live stream, si City Zaini, si Yashira, and si Carl Justin. You're all correct. Okay, so we are done on this part class sa ating pre-test, yung unang activity natin. So, yan, marami din naman nakakuha, meaning some of you have the prior knowledge regarding our lesson. So, now let's jump to lesson 1 entitled Oral Language, Stance, and Behavior. So, it says here, basahin natin yung nasa module ninyo, sabi dito. Oral language is one of the most important skills that students can master both for social and academic success. Learners use this skill throughout the day to process and deliver information, instruction, making explanation, narrate events, and even interact with peers. So aside from reading and writing class, oral language or communication skill is another skill that you students must develop. Bakit? Is it really important to enhance our communication skill? Okay, yes or no? Well, the answer is yes, of course. It is because you're right, we often use this skill in our day-to-day lives, di ba? We use this skill, this communication skill, when we are communicating with our family, di ba? Araw-araw, with our friends, with our peers, with your classmates, and even with your teachers. Yan, di ba sa atin, just like now, Okay, we are interacting via live stream and group chats. So, we use this oral language or our communication skill to deliver information. Tama? When you want to share your ideas, okay, your answers, parang kanina, with your classmates or with your friends, we are using this oral language skill. So, this is why it should be developed just like the other skills that we have tackled in our past lessons. Kailangan din ma-develop ang skill na ito. Actually, this is one of the most important skill that we all must develop. Kailangan i-enhance natin ito. Okay. So, magpatuloy tayo. Okay? Sa pagbabasa ng module nyo. Sabi dito, aside from speech, there are also other ways of expressing what we want or feel. Our facial expression and body movements can convey our thoughts or feelings. Thus, both the speaker and listener must possess qualities or characteristics to deliver and receive messages with clarity, accuracy, and conciseness. So as you can see in your module class, there are how many types of communication? Okay? Ilan ang mga uri ng communication? Is it 2 or 4? Okay, very good. Gwen, Ashley, meron tayong 4 na uri ng komunikasyon or types of communication. The first one is verbal communication. So when we say verbal communication, it utilizes the spoken word, yung gaya ng nasabi kanina sa quiz, either face-to-face or remotely. So ito yung pakikipagtalastasan natin na gumagamit tayo ng salita. Okay? Nag-utter tayo ng words. Okay. Again, when we say verbal communication, we use spoken words when we interact with people. Napapakinggan natin yung sinasabi nila, nare-receive natin, at nagre-respond naman tayo. Meron tayong ina-utter or sinasabing mga salita para sa kanila. Okay? And the response that we will receive from our listener is what we call yung feedback naman ang tawag doon, class, feedback. Okay, so as I've said a while back, non-verbal communication is the opposite of verbal. Kasi if verbal communication, nag-utter ka ng word, nagsasalita ka. Pag non-verbal, from the prefix itself, non, it means not, di ba? So, wala kang naririnig na sound o salita mula sa speaker. Okay? So, these things are often communicated through facial expression. So, kung nakakunot noo ka, meaning to say, hindi ka, you are disagree sa mga sinasabi niya, or kung tumatango ka, meaning, tumatango ka, medyo naka-smile ka, ganyan, nag-agree ka sa sinasabi niya, okay, hindi lang sa facial expression, but through hand gestures. Kapag ganyan, ginaganito mo meaning okay yon para sa'yo, yung posture mo and even your appearance, all of which can convey something about the speaker is what we call non-verbal communication. Okay? So, the best example here, class, is those who are communicating through sign language. Kapag nakakita kayo ng, naka-encounter kayo ng mga deaf and mute people na nagsa-sign language, hindi ba, they are still communicating with each other even if they are not uttering words. Tama? Kahit hindi sila nagsasalita, they are still communicating with each other kasi nga, anong tawag dito? Nagbibigay siya ng information through sa mga sign and symbols, through hand gestures. Nakaka-receive naman ng information yung isa, nagre-respond siya through sign language also. And there's also what we call feedback. And that is still what we call a communication. And this one is called non-verbal communication naman, class. Is it clear to you? Kung hindi, pwede kayong magtanong, Okay, let's proceed with item number 3. So item number 3, class, is what we call visual communication. So from the word visual, so nakikita siya. Nakikita nyo yung mga signs. Okay, yung mga signs, yung mga maps, yan, yung mga drawings, as well as the color or graphic design. Okay, visual aid can help speaker remember important topics, give the audience something to look at, and generally help convey it. So when the speaker or the, let's say, the teacher is trying to explain something that is difficult to understand, kaya pwede siyang gumamit ng what we call the visual aid, yan. So, na makatutulong din para maintindihan ng mga listeners yung ini-explain. Okay? So that is still another type of communication, class, and that is what we call visual communication. Another example of visual communication is the GIFs, the video, the pie chart, infographic, animation, at marami pa. Okay, kung malinaw na yon, number 4, sa number 4 tayo. Number 4 type of communication is called written. Okay, written communication. So, written communication, class, is writing, typing, or printing symbols like numbers to convey information. Okay, nakakapag-convey din sila ng information, kaya tinatawag na written communication yon. Example of this is the email. Yan, yung mga email na re-receive natin. Of course, those who have email, alam nyo yan, no? Okay? Siyempre, kapag may email para sa'yo, magsasend ka din ng response mo doon sa email na sinend nila sa'yo. So, that is still a communication, class. At tinatawag yan na written communication. Another examples are website, letters. But nowadays, madalang nang ginagamit ang letter. Para na lang yan sa mga formal letters na ginagamit ng mga professionals, no? Pero para sa mga sa mga hindi naman gaanong tawag dito, when we say yung natural lang na pakikipag-communicate, pagsasend ka lang ng message sa classmate mo, yun ang ibig kong sabihin. So, yung mga letters through group chat na yan, through messenger na yung ginagamit natin. Another, ma'am, ano siya ng 10 minute kanina, ma'am?
Sino?
Si ma'am. Kaya na-late. Kaya, yun. So, let's resume. Sorry for that. So, meron ding tinatawag na proposal, yung telegrams, the faxes, the postcards, tapos any business letter or reports, those are still under the written communication. So, yon. How about is the word stance? What is your idea about the word stance naman, class? Yung S-T-A-N-C-E. What is your idea about the word stance? Okay, do you have any idea about it? So when we say stance, class, it is the manner and position in which a person stands. So my stance right now, class, so you can see here, I am sitting in front of the table, in front of my laptop. So this is my posture right now. Ang instance ng mga public speaker naman, syempre of course nakatayo sila. Di ba? Yung mga posture ng mga kumakandidato naman natin, of course nakatayo sila, nagsasalita sila, nagbibigay sila ng plataforma nila. Yung posture nila, yun yung tinatawag natin, class, na stance, no? So when speaking, keep a good posture, stand straight with shoulder back, naka-relax, and feet shoulder width apart. Yun yung mga stance ng mga magpa-public speaking, no? Okay? Do not cross your arms. Ang sabi dito sa natin, module, put your hands in your pocket. Face the audience as much as possible and keep your body open. So that is the suggestion in our module. Para maging maganda ang posture natin kung tayo ay magkakaroon ng public speaking or meron tayong lecture, isa tayong lecturer, ganyan. So, let's proceed sa what's in part ng module. Okay, what time is it? Ayan. So, Okay. Tignan lang natin ito saglit, no? So, pakisagot mag-respond kayo sa mga katanungan. The directions goes like this. Identify the type of communication that each picture shows. So, makikita niyo dyan yung mga 5 pictures. So, identify the type of communication that each picture shows. Like the letter of your answer on a separate sheet of paper. Choose the answer from the back. So, your options are verbal, non-verbal, visual, or written. So, makikita nyo sa module nyo yung mga pictures. So, what is your answer for item number 1? Okay, yung module, pwede nyong i-download, nandito sa GC natin yung module. Anong sagot sa item number 1? Is it non-verbal? Are you sure? Is it non-verbal? Okay, our time is up. So, when we say non-verbal class, wala kang naririnig na tawag doon na mga words na nia-utter ng speaker natin. 'Di ba yung non-verbal example of this is the what we call the sign language, 'di ba? Okay? Doon sa nagpa-public speaking, 'di ba meron kayong naririnig na mga words from him or from her? So, what is your answer? Okay. The correct answer is letter A. Very good, Arnel, Gwen, and Gwen Ashley, The correct answer is letter A, class. Okay. How about item number 2? Sa ating item number 2, mukhang, anong ginagawa niya? Bumibili siya, sabi niya ay 2, Pero makikita nyo na gumagamit siya ng sign language. Is it verbal, non-verbal, or visual, or written? Mukhang hindi naman sila nag-utter ng words sa number 2. Mukhang gumagamit sila ng sign language. So, anong tawag doon? Kapag gumagamit ng sign language, yun ang tawag doon? Ang tawag doon ay verbal ba? Are you sure? Well, no one got the correct answer. Bakit ganyan kayo? Okay, kapag sa sign language sila, class, non-verbal kasi hindi sila nag-utter ng words. Okay? Non-verbal. Okay? Okay, tandaan nyo yan. Non-verbal ang tawag doon. How about item number 3? Item number 3. May nakikita kayong signs, symbols. Pag gumagamit ng symbol, very good, Arnel, and Brian, and Aryan. Letter C ang tamang sagot, visual. How about number 4? Number 4, anong sagot sa number 4? Nagta-type siya. I think letter yon. Nagta-type siya ng letter. Tama. Letter na ipapadala through email. Ganyan. Anong sagot? Letter. May 4 na uri ng communication. Ano yung pang-4? The correct answer for item number 4 is letter C. I know. Letter D pala, class. Tama? Ay. Yes, written. O, yun lang. Mm-mm. So, tandaan nyo yon. Ayun, patapos na tayo, ano. So, ayun, sasabihin ko na lang sa inyo yung mga importanteng information natin, ano. So, when we say oral language, it is the system through which we spoken words to express our knowledge, ideas, and feelings. So it includes speaking and listening class, the way human communicate with one another. And the four examples of communication is the verbal communication, non-verbal communication, what else? The visual communication and the written communication. So yun yung tandaan ninyo. Basahin nyo lang yung nandito, class, kasi wala na tayong time. Or pwede natin discuss ito some other time, ano. Okay. All right. So that ends our lesson for today. I can now say that you have your medyo na-understand nyo naman na yung lesson natin. So, sa ibang araw, i-discuss pa natin ito ng mabuti. Ano. Okay, once again, this is Teacher Geraldine Sagario. Have a nice day.
Not